Hey all you hep cats and crazy critters. So here we are again for a second viewing. Hopefully you can hear me better on this one, but we'll give it a go. I don't suppose I'll get many viewers due to the sun and some religious nutter rising for a walk and laying millions of chocolate eggs due to all accounts. Anyway, we'll give it a go. So hopefully this time you'll be able to hear all the private stories about my private paintings from my private collection. It's not often you get so many privates coming out here so quickly, well, unless you're Tracy Lords, I suppose. But right, we'll start now. So obviously, I'm going to flick you around. Oh, this is. There we go. Lockdown gallery, as you can see. Which is my third escapade into running a gallery. Bit different this one, as it's focusing on being shut in, so I'm not going not trading, not trying to do anything kind of capitalist. This is just pure enjoyment and fun. Right, what we got? Oh, wine. Don't mind if I do. What we got? Oh, 3 meals. Too tight for 4 meals, but better than Haley meals, I suppose. Don't mind if I do. Cheers. Ooh, Ribena, lovely. Right, first of all, here we go again. We have Amelia Lazar. I met this lady on, I think, my second trip to Paris. She has a little stall in the Pied de Terre in Paris. Where they sell lots of paintings and pictures of the Eiffel Tower and men with berets, like me, and striped tops and baguettes. But hers stood out because it was nothing to do with Paris. It was just an abstract, beautiful, coloured painting. I bought 2 of hers in the end. I went back to see her again. I even helped her on the stall briefly. Yeah, lovely lady, comes from Romania. And I believe she still probably sells over there, but that's Amelia Lazar. Right, now firstly on my our first YBA, Young British Artists piece, which is by oh, hang on a minute, I forgot to, he's making a fuss, so I better let you know. I brought my bird again. So hello bird, can do anything? No? Oh, thank you, there you go, bird said hello. Right, back to things. This is my first piece by the YBA, which is by Gavin Turk. I swapped something for him with him for this. I think it was a portrait, but he owns loads of my bits and pieces. He kind of collects it. I've got a lovely video of him dancing around in a pair of Union Jack underpants, which I made for him with his face on the front, and he also owns a blue plaque like that he made, but with Gavin Turd Shat here written on it. He's got it in his toilet apparently, but I've only got his word for that. But this is Gavin Turk, and I got it from the Art Car Boot Fair, and this was a balloon which is wax sealed to the wood, and this was blown up by car exhaust fumes. So it was lovely and bulbous. Bulbous, nice word. You can tell I've been watching Carry On films today. So it was lovely and bulbous on top of the plinth. It went shrank, I've just hung it on the wall. I like it as it is. Alright, on to number 3. This is by a friend of mine, Jessica Ballantyne. I met Jessica through visiting my tutor from my foundation course in his studios. I think it's Thames, so I don't know, it's on the south bank of Thames. Anyway, she had a studio there, and I got talking to her and really love her work. And I told her about the studios this side of the river in Rainham, and she's got one there now. She paints some beautiful stuff. She's currently doing a lot of paintings based on the Rorschach test, like folded in half and spread out, and then painting animals. They're beautiful, and her colours are lovely. She's got a brand new colour palette, which is all pastels. Really nice. She's on here. You can get to her on the link that's on my site and things, but check her out. She's fantastic. Next is Subdued, obviously a street artist. Don't know much about him. I think I met him once, can't remember. Was a bit pissed. Sorry about that, don't know what happened there. You still there? Yeah. Anyway, yeah, Subdued. I do believe I met him once, but I don't remember much about it. He makes these works and he leaves them about on the streets for people to find, and they take them and then leave them somewhere else for someone else to find. And I found this one, so I've kept it for a while, exhibiting for a bit, and then when I get bored with it, I'll go and leave it on the street somewhere for somebody else to play with. Right, don't know what's going on there, but we're back again hopefully. Right, this one is a beautiful little life drawing by the aforementioned tutor, Max Middleton, the one who introduced me to Jess. He was my first real inspiring tutor for my foundation. He kept me going through some rough times and really persuaded me to just carry on being an artist. I'm so glad he did. The man's a right bolshy little sod. He's great, he's fantastic, and he's an absolutely brilliant drawer and painter. He's on Facebook as well, so you can check him out on there. It's just wonderful, an absolute joy. He loves the body, the figure. Such a beautiful painter and an inspiration to me from a very early age. Well, not that early, but yeah. Anyway, that's Max Middleton. On to my second YBA I'm showing. This is the Chapman Brothers. This was I went to visit them in some sort of performance thing they were doing, and give me this print and little drawing. Like the centre bit's a print, but the skeleton's a drawing, and it was fat off out of my heart. It's one of the lovely Chapmans. I was introduced to these by Sandra Escalon of the Golden Heart, which everyone knows is just the hub of the artists at the time. If it wasn't for Sandra, I wouldn't have had a career. She introduced me to all the famous artists at the time, like the YBAs, and they took me under their kind of belt. I kind of got accepted in, and that's why I kind of become one of the very last sort of YBA sort of artists as it was dying out, which is probably just as well. But yeah, Jake and Dinos Chapman are fantastic. They got a studio, I think, in East London, but they don't live there anymore, so I don't really see them much. But my first encounter with them took me 4 or 5 pints just to get the bollocks to go and speak to them. But within about 10 minutes, they were running around the pub hitting me on the head with a piece of artwork I gave them. So that was fun. Yeah, but they're lovely lads, and I think they're probably the most, out of all the YBAs, they're still the most prevalent and the most relatable, I think, still. They haven't sold out, they haven't become sort of pastiches of themselves. They're still pretty good. Up next is Mia Jane Harris. I first saw Mia's work before I met her, a good few months before I met her. We was both exhibiting together, didn't know each other then. And then we come across each other in Voots and become a couple for quite a while. And yeah, her work is wonderful. It's this piece, I think, was a present for Christmas. I can't remember. Yeah, it was. And her work is amazing. It deals with antique figurines and taxidermy. And it is quite unique. It is really lovely. This is a beautiful rabbit skull, all hand painted. It's a fantastic piece. Check her work out. You can get her on Facebook and Insta as well. And the work is really good. I believe she's cracking on with a load of stuff during the hibernation, I think, anyway. So yeah, give her a check out and see what her stuff's like. Next is a local friend of mine. This is James Quinn. He's a fantastic portrait painter. His use of colours and the brush are amazing and really good. I mean, this is fantastic. It's just a shame about the subject matter. I think poor old sod in the paint. I don't know who he is, but he looks a bit rough, doesn't he? But he's brilliant. James is great. Local lad from Grays. And yeah, he's still painting. He does portraits on commission as well, so you can check him out as well on here. Give him a look. It's brilliant. It's a good laugh. Hello, James, if you're looking, and bugger off if you're not. Was the first piece by the YBAs I got. No, it wasn't. It was the second, I think. Yeah, it was. And this is a piece by Tracy Emin. It's a very, very delicate, small self-portrait, obviously of herself. And she did this for me. When I was talking to her in a car park in East London. I had several nights out and fun and run-ins with her. I mean, in exactly the same car park, a few years later, I was having a full-on row with her. But yeah, she's a good lass. Don't see her now because I think she moved back down to Margate from East London. I don't know. But yeah, this is probably the most famous artist I own, is Tracy Emin. So yeah, quite chuffed with that. Yeah, so it's a good story. We've had some good fun sort of nights out at her private views and things and stupid stuff. Mainly at the hands of David West. If anyone knows him, you can imagine the palaver it all ends in. But hello, David, if you're listening. Right, on to the next one. This is the second real inspirational tutor I had. This is by Neil Ferguson. And I did my MA with him at London Metropolitan. He was a great bloke, really funny, good laugh. And he never said no to any of the stupid things I wanted to get up to. This was brilliant. He encouraged me more than anything. I think it was probably he'd sooner me get in trouble than him. He would like to see what was happening, so that was good. Anyway, he does lots of these very, very small little drawings. I'll show you how small it is. I'll put my finger down. There you go. That's not my knob coming in, because it's far more bigger. It's my finger. There you go. And he does loads of these, hundreds of them. He just puts them on the wall to hang, and they're really good and intricate, and they're so varied. He's knocking them out all the time. It's so good. And you can find him on here as well. So that's Neil Ferguson. And next up, this is Chris the Stitch, Christopher Ward. He does fantastic work. He does mostly sewing, knitting, but I've been looking at his paintings and drawings. I never realised he was that good, actually, until recently, looking at them. So a good all-round artist, but he does amazing battle jackets, like coats with lots of patches and sewing and embroidery and things on them. I'm not sure what the right term is, but this is an amazing piece. It's on kind of rubber with wool. It's fantastic. Yeah, he's on social media and stuff, so you can check him out as well. Keep up the painting and drawings as well, Chris. I'm loving them. This one is by an Australian artist called Millie Yankin. I met Millie at a life drawing class in Paris several years ago, and we had a couple of little adventures together, like daft things. We went to a sewage museum in Paris, like a shit night out sort of thing. That was fun. She got me cycling all around Paris, which was bloody scary, but good. And I've been back several times and seen her. She went off to study in Canada doing animation, which is brilliant. Some of her stuff is fantastic. And I think she just moved to Estonia again. I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway, she come over and stayed with me for a couple of months as a base for getting around in London and things before she went off to Canada. And I see her once after that in Paris, where she gave me this drawing, which is absolutely beautiful. Her stuff is amazing. I'm not often drawn to animation, but it is good. It's worth looking at. And she also made me play Jesus in a small film as well once, which on my birthday one year, which was fun. But that's Millie Yankin. This is another YBA piece, but well, I don't know if it's technically YBA, but Bob and Roberta Smith. This was another swap. I swapped a portrait for this. I don't know if that was a fair swap or not, but yeah, why not? It was. I like it. And he's a tutor as well, was with Neil at the London Metropolitan, and he's got a lot of heritage and well known in the art world. I've got two of his pieces, the other one's coming up. But yeah, this is Bob and Roberta Smith. Next up is Sean Worrell. Saul Worrell's a lovely bloke. I bought this off of him long before I got to know him, at one of his car boot fair things. We kind of known him around the fringes of the art world, but got to know him really well in the last 2 years. He's brilliant. He puts on some great shows. He takes no nonsense. He does gallery art shows as they should be done. You get the call out, you send your work in, you hang it up, and you go and collect it. No messing about, no nonsense. And there's no money up front or anything like that. Straightforward, down-to-earth guy when it comes to exhibiting with him. And yeah, his shows are amazing. I've shown with him about, I honestly can't remember how many times now, maybe 5 or 6 times, but they're always great and they're always good fun shows. They're really nice and laid back. The next one is, I don't want to tread on the bird wherever he's gone. Oh, he's on the stairs. This one is, I have no idea. I bought it in a charity shop for £3, but I love it. On the back, I think it's got a name, Emily Stevens. I have no idea. It was in Whitstable, so if anyone knows anyone by that name in Whitstable, tell them to give me a shout. I've got their painting. But I love it. Can't tell you any more on that. It's just really nice from a charity shop. And now is, I've got a signed poster. As you can see, signed. Yeah, I'm getting a bit bored now, aren't I? A signed poster of Gilbert and George, which I got from Jay Joplin at the White Cube many years ago. Some drunken escapade or something, I can't remember. That was when it was in Shoreditch, so yeah, quite a while back. Obviously, their Jack Freak show. And yeah, so I've given it from there. This is my other Bob and Roberta Smith one, which is a rubbing. Okay, I got a laugh for that word because I said rubbing. Yeah, it's just a stone rubbing and signed, and yeah, we did that. There was an involvement piece where you went along and you helped and you did it, and he signed it. So yeah, that's my other one from Bob and Roberta. That's from 2007. I got that one. That was my first ever YBA piece. And now we have Tim Harold, and he's a local artist. He's doing art for years and years and years. Yeah, as far as I'm aware. Lovely bloke. I don't know much about him to tell you, to be honest. He just does some great creations and things. I met him via a friend that was a tutor or an art technician at a foundation. But yeah, no, he's a good sort of local artist, still going and still producing work. I'm glad to know, glad to hear. All right, quick shot of bird up there on the stairs. Oh, he's off again. Where are you going? He's up there having a break. Right, last and not least, or maybe least, I don't know, depends how you feel, is Tim Noble and Sue Webster. I got this long before I met him and got to know him. I bought this at a fair, an art fair, and it's obviously a signed toilet roll with their faces on. It nearly got defaced a few weeks ago, the toilet roll problems, but it managed to survive. Thankfully that I've got 2 hands and know how to wash them, so that's what I used. But this is, yeah, I can't remember how much it cost me or what it was or anything, but I bought it. And I loved it, and then again I got to know them. I can't remember. Might have been through Sandra again. Can't remember. But they're great fun. Absolutely hysterical. Right little sods they were. I loved them. They don't work together anymore. They're still doing stuff separately. I think Tim's down on the Kent coast. I can't remember, but I don't know what he's doing. I think Sue's doing lots of painting on leather and stuff, but go and check them out, they're great. They've got such a great heritage and their work is awesome, it's really good. Their past catalogue is amazing and I love this. Anyway, that's all of the works, so I hope you enjoy them. Let's flick that round. Hello, me again. Right, hang on. Oh, that's better. Hang on, want me wine? Oh, well, that talking's made me thirsty. Anyway, I hope you like them, and I hope you can hear it this time, which would be remarkable if you can. And let me know what you think. I'll be about tonight, having at least the drinks, no Easter eggs, because no fucker likes me. Yeah, just give us a shout if you want any questions about anything, you want to get involved or anything. I'm hoping to put a shout out for an exhibition involving like getting the other people involved by emailing me black and white pictures, which I can then print out and display on here. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet. I don't know. If they're for sale, I'd only put everything. Any sales will go straight to like NHS or something like that. There'd be no money involved. But that call will be going out in the next week. And if you can, join me next Thursday for our next exhibition, which is an anti-art, anarchy kind of one. It's got 3 anarchist groups in it. We've got some works by Setti. We've got some pieces by the Cuntists and some by the Sons of Incoherence. There'll be some in there as well that's never been seen before, so it could be interesting. It'll make you laugh, make you vomit, and both, or it'll just make you want to turn off. Mind you, I'll probably just make you want to turn off. But yeah, anyway, that's next Thursday, so if you can join me at 6 o'clock on Thursday for our next show, which is called Artless Bastards, it will be a bit of a laugh. See you all later, you lovely little groovers. Ta-ra!